Rebellious Studio presents the Mind Body Podcast with your host, Maria Angelova. Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast with me, your host, Maria, where it is all about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. And today, joining us from Maryland, we have Orville Wright. Hello, Orville. Welcome on board. Oh, welcome on air. How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm exceptional. So glad to be here with you. This is exciting.
That's
Ready to jump in on the topics at hand and in the heart.
I like it. I like it. So, Orville, you're a musician and you have that cool shirt that says music producer. And before we talk all about music and positivity, and that's how we connected, right, on the topic of uplifting and creating communities of positivity. Let's learn about who Orville is. So, give us 3 words and a little bit of a backstory of who Orville is.
Yeah, certainly. So definitely, I would say 3 words that describe me are zenful. I definitely consider myself rebellious and considerate.
Uh, no wonder you're here, right? Give us a little bit of a backstory behind each.
Okay, so let's jump in on the rebellious because this is the podcast we're on.
Let's do it.
I started with extremely humble beginnings as just a songwriter, and I really had to learn everything about the industry in music and entertainment by myself. There were a lot of resources that I found, of course, online and through books, a lot of literature with other people's success stories, including Madonna, um, another incredible entrepreneur who started by herself from the ground up. And I had to learn everything almost in a reverse order. So I started thinking, okay, I'm gonna release these songs and just, blow up. Of course, that's not the
How it
process at
goes.
all.
Not yet.
Yes, not yet. So what took place then was, of course, like understanding um, solely as a songwriter the process with incorporating music production. That's basically background music or instrumentals. So of course, I again was beginning, and I was an exceptional songwriter, but I did not produce my own music at the beginning. I was going to other sources, and when I realized the relationship building was such a that there were so many roadblocks and so many conflicts with different personalities that I had to really understand, okay, I know one person that's reliable, and that's myself when it comes to getting the projects that I wanted accomplished done. So I then began to step away from songwriting and simply focusing on music production. And that's when I really started to hone in on that craft to become like an exceptional music producer for other people. So now I'm able to take everything that I've learned and now incorporate that in how I conduct business in a much better perspective and experience for everybody else.
You know what? And that's powerful. I think the universe, God, whatever spirit, whatever you want to call it, has amazing ways of guiding us the directions we have to go if we are open to listening and tuning in. And I will totally second what you said, that there's nothing like having firsthand experience into anything, and I would say practical experience, right? Because there's one
Yes,
thing reading a book, it's another thing actually experiencing it and doing it yourself. And that's the best way to learn.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So fantastic. Rebellious. Tell us about Zenful.
Zenful. I'm all about peace. I love to help people find solutions. And of course, when we find solutions, we're at peace with not only ourselves, but also others around us. So we're able to conduct business, we're able to actually function and really communicate on a much better frequency that everybody else can understand and resonate. So it ends up being a reciprocating type of process that we all began to really become one. It's beautiful, and I'm just all about that.
You know, I once again, completely agree with you. Surprise, surprise, you're on the Rebellious podcast. And look at that, we think alike. That you figure out that it all starts with you, right? It's not about anybody else, but it all starts with you. And whatever you vibe, that's what you project out, and that's what you attract, right? So
Absolutely.
if we don't have our inner peace, we can't spread peace around.
That's correct.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So let's talk a little bit about music, because I will tell you, I love to sing. I have zero talent. But if you hear me sing, you'll probably be like this. But I enjoy it, and I blast the music up and sing. And for me, there is nothing more powerful than putting some good music and moving. That's my thing, right? Movement. I mean, it's like this Zen place that, like, do not mess with it, because that's my, like, Zen
I
place.
love it. I love it.
I
I
think,
see you smiling. It's
oh
just
my God,
like
yes, I'm like,
you're talking about like the what gives you life. I love it. I'm with it. Let's go.
and I think music is powerful. And I'll tell you, not almost every day, pretty much every day, I'm intentional about putting a favorite song and just helping it uplift me, dancing around, singing around. And
Yeah.
it's powerful. And like we have a group chat with my tribe. Frequently, I sang them, here is an uplifting song, like here is something to pick up your mood. So let's talk about
Awesome.
music from the perspective of a professional, of a musician, of a music producer. What is the power of music?
The power of music is, oh my goodness. How can I really incorporate this in words? It's going to be very difficult to articulate because music is so much outside. It's an outer body experience, just seeing like that smile on your face when you mention like just how much you get into the vibe and the energy, and you're ready to share it with everybody else, so they end up being, like you said, uplifted and elevated. That's exactly what music is to me. It's elevation. It is that frequency, the tuning, just uniting with others to just really have this exemplified feeling, the vibe. It's incredible. It's still so hard to put into words, but when you see somebody else listening to music, it's their favorite song or just something that they always have in their head, maybe a song that their mother sang to them or something. It brings so many good memories and feelings, and they're able to just spread love because of this emotion, the feelings that are tapped into just through music. That's what music is. It's continuous movement, but with waves.
Let's talk about music in the context of self-expression, right? Expression. And, to me, self-expression, well, not to me, it's known that self-expression is a way of healing, right? So music is totally something that helps us heal. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about music as an art form, as a self-expression form, as, like I told you, for me, it's uplifting, it's energy, it's positivity, it's good vibes. Talk
Yes.
about it from a pro standpoint.
Okay. Well, when we're talking about like healing and things of that nature, uh, one thing I can say is that in the recent years, I've actually shifted my entire course of action when it comes to creating music, because now I'm really making it specifically to elevate individuals and brands and helping them have their representation. Now, what I didn't know, this is actually something that happened accidentally, but maybe it was purposely, through a subconscious level. So what my music does, and I've been told numerous times on reviews and even personal messages, is that it really has helped uplift them and heal them. A lot of oddly enough, a lot of the same stories happen to be somebody was either in a recent accident or they were just sick, dealing with COVID or something, and out of nowhere, the timing is just impeccable. They listen to a theme song that I created for them, and they just immediately feel this whole new, invigorating energy. They're just ready to get moving and just be the better version of themselves. And, they go ahead and reach out to me. And next thing you know, it's just a lot of gratitude and expression. Thank you so much. You articulated words that I've always wanted to say, and you found a way to perfectly like place that in a song just for me. So that's what I could tell you from a professional standpoint. Just the responses that I get from the music that I create.
I think you mentioned a very key word, and that's energy, which kind of goes hand in hand with vibes, right? The
Yes.
energy of the music. I mean, when you feel that build up of the beat, like boom, boom, and like my daughter, I actually, oh gosh, I'm going to embarrass myself. There is a part of the song, it's not the chorus, but it's like, what is it called, Orville?
Um,
She
well, you have the verse, you have the bridge, you have a
The
hook.
bridge,
Oh,
the
okay.
bridge. And she goes, Mom, the bridge. I was like, what is the bridge? It's amazing how our kids teach us. And she goes, hold on for it, Mom, hold on. She's like, it's the buildup, it's that bridge. And I'm like, okay, I had no idea that was called the bridge. And we sit in the car, and that's our girls thing to do, because my daughter is a
Oh.
preteen, so I have kind of lost my cool points right now. So I'm trying to earn back. So we sit in the car and we play music and we sing. Neither one of us has talent. And she would just go, hold for it, Mom, hold for it. The bridge comes, the bridge comes, the bridge. And we start singing, and we have such a great time, and it changes the energy, and it
Yeah.
creates, I know you talk a lot about connection and community. And
Yes.
that's exactly what, for us, music does. It creates that common point of connection. And I don't know, I almost want to say like ecstatic feeling, right? You
It
can
is.
rocking my desk, my camera is vibrating and everything. I'm getting excited as I
I
talk.
love it. I'm excited with you.
So yeah, energy and elevation. And let's talk about community. I mean, you mentioned in a personal aspect how music can help somebody when they're not feeling their best.
Yes.
How about from a community sense?
Yes, that certainly. I with these theme songs, I've again been able to really hone in and have highlighted communities. In particular, there were some film directors and producers who have actually had their own communities that they've been enlightening, encouraging, um, also educating and making sure that they're still a part of their community despite wherever they are on a social status level or even professionally. They want to make sure that they're still tapped into their community to know the needs and wants of others so that when they get on higher platforms, they're able to be heard and voice what is needed, what, the course of action for correction. So when we're talking about communities and creating songs for them, there have been women of color that I created songs for them to amplify their voices. I'm not giving them a voice, they have their own voice. So I'm simply helping them actually just have the words that they've been iterating time and time again, just heard and now a song. The same thing goes for my Arab American friends. I've created some songs for them, just with a nice community that they have. One with Hollywood Chit Chat, and it's just a conversation organization where everybody is able to tap in and connect with each other, despite their background, where they come from, their languages. I mean, it really just extends beyond the self identification to know that you can be a part of another community despite who you are, your sex, your age, your gender, everything. And that's beautiful, just connecting with others in different communities, and music helping them to be able to identify their tribes.
I've not really, I guess I have thought about music as something that unites us. I mean, there are so many songs that have been written from artists across the world, right? But if you
Yes.
think of, like, I love Latin music. I don't really speak Spanish, but I love the beat and like the salsa and the merengue and the samba and all of that. And
Yes.
I love Arabic music, like the ballroom dancing. And if you think about that, yeah, that creates connection, because it's
It does.
it's a common point of interest amongst people, right? We can all hear the beat, we can all feel that energy that we talked about. And
Exactly.
great conversation starter around people who may not necessarily think alike or be alike.
Right. Yeah, they hear a simple instrument. It could be something they remember as a child. Oh my goodness, they're playing that particular string that my grandmother played. It's just something. I always incorporate something that is familiar with a group. So everybody can find additional common grounds to really enjoy and engage conversation with each other and really connect and build, help, discover the commonalities between them, as well as like the differences where they can actually, like I said, create a course of correction within like a broader community and how we all become better one.
So I do have to say, I did check out some of your tunes. So if you were to tell our listeners to check out like one of your favorite songs, like which one would that be? Do you have a favorite or a recent one or a new release one?
A favorite that I would say is really between two songs. One is Gotta Go. Got a Go. And
Mm.
that is like more so purpose to help everybody identify that we have a responsibility, not just a calling, but a responsibility to reach out to others and help even strangers. I believe in the power of two, like helping, two random people with one random act. It could be something they either need, you can ask them, or you simply just do whatever you feel called to do in order to help uplift them, or vice versa, just helping simply one person with two things. Imagine the elevation that they can feel, that frequency that they now have tapped into because somebody that they didn't even know helped to make their day better. That carries so much weight, and it can just keep on multiplying and just really create like a snowball effect that everybody around just feel this new energy, you
Yeah.
know?
One of my big intentions is that whoever I am in contact with, it doesn't matter how colleague, friend, whatever relationship it is that I bring something positive into their life in however way I can, whether it's a connection, whether it's exposure, whatever it is, right? Whether it's through
Yes.
the work that I do, in some way, help somebody feel better, feel elevated, feel more positive, whatever I can do. And it's pretty amazing when you said that type of intent, because I think sadly our community is almost like, why are you being so nice to me? Like, why do you want to help? Like people are like almost like with you. And when you say, oh, I'll help you, and they're like, why? And it's like, because I want to, right? But it's
Yeah,
like we gotta change that vibe and those relationships and the trust
you're
and the
right.
authenticity with which we interact. There is so much, don't say this, don't say that, say it like this, say it like that. We have lost like the plain human interaction
Yes,
of, let's just do what's right and what's good for all of us.
exactly.
You said if I help
Exactly.
uplift you and you feel good, then you're gonna go uplift somebody else, right? And it doesn't have to come from the same place. That's something else I think that's important to remember. It's not let's trade. I do something for you, you do something for me. Just pass it on and don't worry. It's gonna come back to you.
And it does. It will.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Gotta Go and then also Fly. The
Wow.
second one, yes. So Fly is another single that I released. And the reason that I released this is because it was almost like a self-reminder as well as a reminder for everybody else to continue helping themselves first to become the better self, their better self, in order to obtain achieve the success they really wanted, and also then help others, because like we said at the beginning, we can only help others when we've helped ourselves. When we become our better self, we can help others become better as well. So either of those songs, but I think Gotta Go may call me a little bit more just
Yeah.
because it's more reaching to the community and telling them, it's giving them a call to action. Like, look, we see it every day, even on the road with road rage. People just are not stepping up to be their better selves and really extend and that generosity and patience. It's now a me world. We have to get out of that mentality. So with Gotta Go, that was what I was trying to do.
Okay. Gotta go and fly. And I do have to say, when you mentioned fly, it made me think there are certain exercises that we do that we work the upper body.
Yeah.
And I tell people, spread your wings and fly, and it's a very symbolic. It's like, yes, it's an exercise, but like literally spread your wings and fly. So I will
Yeah.
check it out. All right.
Okay.
All right, Orville. So let's end with a piece of advice, favorite quote, anything that you want to leave as a piece of inspiration for our listeners.
Oh my goodness. Advice. Let's go with advice.
Sure.
Patience really is a virtue. And so many of us are so in a rush and always trying to just make things happen. But with time, everything has their perfect timing. Sometimes we don't anticipate when things transpire, but the timing, what they say is what is for you is for you. When it comes to you, it will come. If it doesn't, it just wasn't meant to be at that time. So timing is everything, and patience is a virtue. Everybody just learn to relax a little bit, lower that heart rate.
Yes, I think that goes to stay present in the moment, right? We so frequently live to where we want to be, and
Yes,
beauty is in the journey itself and where we are. And sometimes we miss the beauty because we're so rushed to get to where we want to go. And to your
absolutely.
point, you started the conversation with that. You started with one thing and you ended up doing something different because that's where you were led. So same thing for me. I started as a fitness studio and that expanded to where now I have a podcast. I mean, never would have I thought I would ever have a podcast. So here we are. The world, I call it the universe, leads you forward. All
Yes.
right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I love that. I actually enjoyed your book as well. That I think just because you shared some things with your personal like experiences and your growth to becoming an entrepreneur, like that is something that is so relatable, not just for myself, but I think for the community, because we all end up trying to go with the thoughts in our head, but it's so many voices all around us that tell us otherwise. And I love that. Just the whole idea on your shirt, the rebellious in you, just saying, "I'm gonna do it," and just owning and really claiming your victory. And look at you, here we are on your podcast. Like this is
Yeah, we are
incredible.
the Rebellious Podcast. I mean, seriously. And you know what? I think that's a great way to say there is power to being yourself, right? And going
Yeah,
back to community and uplifting others, there is so much power when we feel whole. We can do so much more for not just for us, but for everybody else. And I think entrepreneurship, I think it's a great way to help you uncover who you really are because of the little trips that are on the way, of the little tribulations that are on the way, of the patience that you're taught, um,
yes,
of all of the life lessons that happen on the way.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, Orville, tell people, where can they find you? Where can they follow your music? If they want to check you out, where can they find you?
So you can just look up either Oh Yeah or Oh Yeah Beats on Apple Music, Spotify. I'm also found on SoundCloud. If you look up soundcloud.com/produced by Oh Yeah. That's all one word spelled out. You'll find a lot more music where you really understand more about me. You could definitely go to the website as well, ohyeahbeats.com, And I'm really about community, and I want that to always be the highlight and the focus. Even when I'm creating music for clients, it's always a lesson. Like, I always want to educate them, not just give them something and they're still kind of left in the dark. you know I think every entrepreneur should definitely be about solutions and explaining solutions to others as well. We all want to grow, so let's continue doing that.
I love that. That is a strong and keep growing, right? Keep growing, keep creating community, keep spreading. I love one word that you used in our prior conversations, celebrations. And I think that's also
Yes.
powerful. Help celebrating even the small moments, because those are powerful. And many small celebrations bring big victories. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Orville, it has been such a treat to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Grateful for you making time to be here with us and inspiring us with your great energy. You guys know, if you have any questions, certainly make sure to share those, and make sure to follow Orville. And in the meantime, make sure that you make it a rebellious one. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Can't get enough of those rebellious conversations? Do make sure you subscribe, like, and share with your